Alright, hello everybody, welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be going over some tips and tricks to progress in Button Simulator Grind 3, as a lot of people I know are kind of struggling to progress through the game. So the first big tip is rank up right when you get the stats you need. This is how I've been doing it. I'm not too sure if this is the best way, but it's made progression for me fairly fast and smooth, I feel like. Um, so yeah, rank up right when you get the chance. It's, I mean, going over, there's really no point because you get no benefit. The only thing that you get a benefit from is sacrifice, which obviously leads me into my next point, sacrifice upgrades. Um, if you're close to your next rank, I wouldn't sacrifice because you do keep your ranks through sacrifice. But we can look here. A lot of these upgrades are really helpful. Auto rebirth, plus 1 rune per second, 12 rune bulk, passive luck, auto ultra, and all the way down here you can even see auto extreme. But these passive upgrade or these sacrifice upgrades are really important. You need to make sure you do them. Um, but I would say try to get to the auto rebirth upgrade with your first sacrifice. I don't know exactly how much that costs. After sacrifice, I recommend doing dungeons and passives. Basically, well, also upgrades, obviously. I kind of forgot to mention that. You want to get auto multiplier from here. Rune luck max, pretty easy. And then I would say just kind of max these out as you go. Uh, I haven't really prioritized one over the other because of how fast they kind of scale in price. It just kind of, I did them together. So dungeons for the potion, bulk passive, faster passive, that kind of stuff. Did I just say bulk potion? I don't even know. Potions, bulk, and faster passives. And then for also getting passives, they're incredibly important in this game. Honestly, in my opinion, unique and God. From my experience, a little pay to win. You could probably do it free to play, it's just going to take you really long. Um, you can see here I have Reaper and Angel. Basically, Angel makes it incredibly easy to get runes, double rune bulk, and plus 2.25 rune luck. It just makes everything so much easier. So I always recommend getting at least Dragon and Reaper. Even better if you can get Angel and Demon. So that way you have a stat and a rune. Angel does work, but Reaper's already better than that in terms of stats. Angel's better in terms of runes. So do your dungeons, get your passives, get your potions, all that stuff. Um, I currently have fighter on because I was doing dungeons. And for difficulties, try to do hard as much as you can. I've found for damage wise, if I use the fighter passive and the last stat of a world, I can do hard incredibly easy. Even without fighter passive, if I get that last stat, it's still really easy. If you get the second stat, second last stat in the world, you'll have to do fighter passive. You might have to hit the button a couple of times, two or three, in the last few runes. And that's just how I've been scaling my like, can I do this dungeon? Because your damage scales off of what stats you have. So, for example, Frost World, I have Godly and the Fighter passive, and I still need to click those last few buttons a couple of times. But if you have Ascended and Fighter passive, it's incredibly easy, and you just one click all the buttons. So that's the importance of dungeons, traits, or passives you get from dungeons. You can get potions also from dungeons. Next up, uh, I don't really know exactly what the best game passes are to get, but from I'll go over how I did it. I started with 2 times rune luck. Um, I don't know. It's one of the cheaper ones. That's kind of why I got it first. And I also think it's a pretty good game pass. Um, it's very important later on so that you can get those rare runes. Then I got 2 times drop luck, amplifier equip, and then faster passive. that's how I went about the or game passes. I'm not too sure how important it is for that, but that's how I went about it. You might, maybe if you plan on buying rerolls, want to go with the bulk passive, because spending 10,000 rerolls with one passive is going to take, with only one passive roll, is going to take a really long time. Next up is event rooms. From what I've seen, I don't have all of the event rooms. I only have a few. I only have up to Divine, but they do seem pretty decent, especially if this one, the Supernova Boost Ascended, that would be super helpful. Um, oh, that's right, I lost my other ones when I got the craftable, so I can't compare to that. But they do seem decent, especially for newer players who can't get these frozen runes overnight. I think it's a couple trillion gems to be able to do it overnight, especially if you have Angel. But definitely work on your runes, um, all of them, because even some of these lower craftables, they're not as important, but they're still a little helpful. I personally only got the Sakura and Frozen craftable so far, so I can't tell you exactly how good all of them are. The Frozen one is incredibly good because it multiplies Ascended, and Sakura is just really helpful for getting through that stage of the game. But the craftables, very helpful. I do recommend getting at least the Sakura and Frozen, maybe the desert, and possibly the forest if you really want to just get them all. Um, Rune levels as well. Sorry, I blanked there. You can get them up to 2.5 times rune luck, which is really helpful. Again, it only impacts the rune that you have leveled up. So if you level up the Frost rune, it's not gonna 2.5x the Sakura rune and other things. As you can see, it's at a different multiplier. Even these ones lower, doesn't even have a single one. And you can also do this one apparently, which I actually didn't even know about. How am I so good at getting that exactly on 2500? Oh, because that's the cap. Never mind. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it, I think. I wanted to, no, I already went over that, never mind. That was in a different video. Yeah, basically, sacrifice, try to get auto rebirth on your first one. Ranks, remember to do them as soon as you can. Dungeons, very important. Potions and passive. Runes, very important. Craftables, and just general, boosts, as well as the event runes, very good for new players. So that's all of my tips and tricks for progressing. It's kind of how I did it. You don't have to do it the same way as me, but dungeons are incredibly important, and like I said, I recommend getting that last stat of the world if you want to do hard dungeon on it. So for example, extreme, get some extreme if you want to do the hard forest dungeon. That's how I went about it. I'm pretty sure that's how you're supposed to do it, but I'm not too sure. But that's going to be it for this video. I hope you did enjoy, and I'll see you in the next one.